And now outside the African continent, the United Kingdom has experienced its first taste of winter on Wednesday, with patches of ice covering parts of northern England, Wales and the Midlands. It brought snow days and caused major travel disruptions, making it difficult for thousands of passengers to get about. Now, meanwhile, several other warnings for snow and ice have been in force across the UK, with the Met Office warning of power cuts, vehicles could be stranded and rural areas could be cut off. On Tuesday, more than 200 school closures were reported, in addition to travel disruptions for many commuters in Aberdeenshire, after the Stagecoach bus toppled on its side in icy conditions. For more on this, I'm joined by International Correspondent Afua Hagan. Afua, you're welcome. Thank you very much. Please do tell us what the latest is on the cold snap in the UK. And could you help us with the name of that? I think I might have messed that up just a bit.
I think you were talking about Aberdeenshire, which is in the north of Scotland, and there was an accident there where a bus overturned on a main highway. There was no injuries and no deaths reported, and that has now been cleared. But the cold snap continues, the cold weather continues. Now, around this time of year, we expect temperatures between 7 and 11 degrees Celsius. At the moment, it is 0 degrees Celsius where I'm standing here in London, and that has caused the first amber cold health alert of the season. Now, that's a health alert that's issued by the UK Health Security Agency that covers all of England, some parts of Scotland and Wales, and that is in force till 6 p.m. on Saturday. And basically what that does is warn that there could be significant impacts across health and social care services. And that means there's a potential for the rise in death, particularly amongst older people or people who are more vulnerable, people who have chronic illnesses. So basically we can expect hospitals to be impacted, we can expect services around care to be impacted as well. Now, the Met Office still has the yellow warning out for ice and snow across the country at the moment. These are mostly in force in Scotland, but in London we have a severe ice warning in place as well. And we can expect the snow to continue falling this evening, up to 10 centimetres of snow expected across the hills and the Highlands until 8 o'clock tomorrow evening.
And how have communities up and down the country been impacted by the snow and ice?
Well, there's still quite widespread school closures across some parts of the country. Up to 200 schools remain closed, and that's partly because school buildings are inaccessible or teachers cannot get to the school buildings as well. People are being advised to check in on their neighbours. Remember, I said there has been that health alert issue, so people are advising others to check on particularly their elderly neighbours. And this comes at a time here in the United Kingdom where the government has stopped the means-tested winter fuel top-up payment. Now, that's something that lots of people would have budgeted for, pensioners would have budgeted for, because they are the ones that get it. And this cold snap has come quite early. So it could be that people that are more vulnerable, who aren't now getting that winter fuel payment and now have this early cold snap, are perhaps not using their heating. So it could lead to deaths, up and down the country. And so people are being advised to check in on their elderly neighbours. Like I said, schools are closed. There's a lot of transport difficulties as well. National Rail warning that up to 30% of their rail services will be cancelled. People being advised to be careful when they're on icy pavement, and cyclists advised not to cycle on pavements and to cycle on gritted roads.
Afua, I'm not sure if it's early or if it's late. Did it begin ahead of time or is it later than usual? And how long is it expected to last?
Well, this is quite early on in the season to get snow. Sometimes we don't have snow here in the UK until February, and it's only mid-November. So this is quite early on in the season for us to have such a severe cold snap. Now, this is expected to continue up into the weekend. So we can have temperatures actually dropping, especially here in London tomorrow, and staying cold into Friday, but back into double digits around 14 to 15 degrees, which is above average. But the problem with that is that could bring the first named storm of the season. There's a low pressure is moving in from the east, and that with it is bringing heavy rain and heavy winds, so much so it could swell into the first named storm of the season. So after the snow and the cold, we could be in for storms.
Well, thank you very much, Afua, and please do keep warm. Thank you.
I'll try.